Hi, Big Lap Bible. I'm Deezel. This is Anita, and we're getting around Oz. So there's just us two and our two boys. Zach is 6, and our youngest Hurley is 4. I've always wanted to do it ever since I was in my teens. I guess I always had to listen to stories of my dad tell me about his life and his travels and everything he's seen and done. And it wasn't until this point in life where we're actually in a position where we could do it, and the kids were old enough to enjoy it and old enough to remember it as well. So the timing was just right now to finally do it. All right, so we're currently at home in Perth, hence the backdrop. So yeah, we're home, saving up to keep doing more travelling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so our setup is we've got our 2014 Pajero, and we have a MDC Robson XCT camper trailer that's been doing the trick for us.
She's great.
Okay, so like I was saying, we're in Perth, we're at home at the moment, so I'll just give you a quick look at what we use. So this is our 2014 Pajero, so it's all pretty standard. We use the Rhino rack, we've got the Batwing awning, the Max Track holder, and the shovel holder that goes down the side. So this is our beast. So out here, this side's got the drawer slide where you've got the fridge, which slides out of that. This side has a slide there, and another spot there. That goes straight through the other side. Give you a quick look inside. So it's got stereo. Bits of storage. So this side's got a queen side bed for us. The kids down the other end, which is just slightly bigger than a double. Hot water system's in here, which is pretty good. So it's got a shower on the other side, which I'll show you in a sec. It's just basically when we come to hide away from the rain. Now there is an annex, an enclosure that goes on the outside that we set up, but we're not going to do that this time. So it comes with a full kitchen as well, three burner plates and a sink. To this side, again, just more storage through here. All the annex poles go on here. So this is a mod that I put on. So I've actually got more storage in the camper. So just the shower, so also comes out here. There is actually a full shower curtain set up that comes off here as well. This side here is basically the same as the other side, with another sliding drawer that comes out. And again, we have another fridge in here. So we have the fridge for drinks on this side and the fridge for food on the other side. And got a couple of gas bottles at the front, and in a nutshell, that's our setup.
Depends on where we are. So free camps, caravan parks. We find probably in bigger cities we end up staying in caravan parks. The free camps aren't that many around there and aren't that nice. And then vice versa, when you're kind of remote, the free camps are beautiful and the caravan parks tend to not be that nice. So we like a mixture of both.
It just depends on your mood.
You need washing done.
Yeah, sometimes you just have a feeling you want to do this. Sometimes you rock up somewhere and you don't feel it, and you just keep driving to somewhere else. And yeah, sometimes that's how you find some pretty cool places as well. So yeah, there's really no preference in it.
For me,
good question.
For me, it's the Thunder Cliffs was probably one of my favourite. We've driven past it so many times across the Nullarbor, and I've always said to Dan I want to stay there. So we've done that now, and I absolutely loved it.
So it's on the Great Australian Bight for those who don't know.
And then Caravan Park, I would dare say, would be Cairns Coconut. That was the bee's knees of caravan parks.
Yeah, so for me, I'd have to narrow it down to two. It's too hard to pick one, but the Cairns Coconut was amazing. It just has something for everyone, both as parents and for the kids. And
You can just do trips. You do a day trip to a different waterfall every day, and everyone's just as as amazing as the next one. And then, at the end of the day, you can just jump back in a caravan park and sit around and have a drink or have a swim or do whatever, and the kids just had the best time in the world. And the other one would be Ellie Beach. For me, was great in the Whit Sundays.
The caravan park there?
Not so much the caravan park, but the town itself and the surrounding areas were beautiful.
So the best place you've ever been, you've skipped the places, I think, haven't you? I think you just did the places rather than the caravan parks. The first one was the caravan parks. Best camping spot.
Best camping spot.
And that's when you started talking about Early Beach.
Camping spots, yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same answer.
Yeah, so there's places for me. Like, the question is, where is the best place you've ever been? And to be honest, I could answer who's my favourite child over the best place I've been, because everything offers its own unique thing. Obviously Bunda Cliffs I love. Then Cairns is amazing with all the tropics and the waterfalls, and then you go out to Kakadu and all the the beautiful red rock with waterfalls, and then you go through Karajini, and that was like Hancock Gorge was just amazing,
Yeah.
And they're all different. Even Shark Bay is one of my favourite places. I love the dolphin feeding. It's just gorgeous. Shut up. Honestly, I couldn't tell you my favourite place. I could tell you lots of favourite places. But yeah.
Where can't we wait to go? Well, I think we might have some different answers again, but for me, I can't wait to go to the Red Centre. I've driven from Adelaide through to Darwin, but I never really stopped off at Ayers Rock, and I basically just passed through. So Ayers Rock for me, and all the areas around there would be for me. But,
yeah, I was actually thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
I would love to be there when it's raining. And people have been lucky this year during the dry season to have it rain while they've been there. And I'd love to see all the light spectacular they do around it. So that will probably be on our next trip.
Yeah, sounds like that's where we're going next. No, we don't travel with a pet. That may change soonish. We'll see what happens, but at this point, no pets.
Yeah. Probably when Dion's driving. Nah, in all seriousness, the trip we went from Lake Argyle to Broome in one day. It was a very long drive, and towards the end of it, we were driving in the dark, which goes against everything we've got believe in.
Yeah, so when we left, we made a promise to ourselves that we wouldn't drive at night. In theory, there's no need to risk it. There's no need to risk Ruse being on the road, but we did that. We didn't feel comfortable at all for the 2-3 hours in the dark while driving, so we won't do it again. But other than that, probably the scariest was driving through some of the torrential rain in Queensland, North Queensland, when it's absolutely pouring rain. The visibility is pretty average, and unfortunately, when we were going through there, some of the driving.
Beautiful drive from Cairns to the Tablelands. Beautiful, beautiful drive, but you probably don't want to be doing it like we were in the pouring rain, towing a camper.
Yeah, that's it. Towing a lot of weight.
Yeah.
That's a bit sketchy. Well, for me, the fridge. Can't live without the fridge. Well, you got to have plenty of drinks naturally, but food. You got to have plenty of food, and you got to. I guess for us, having a fridge with a freezer on it was invaluable, because a lot of the time you don't know where you're going to be, you don't know where you're going to next, and sometimes having food gives you more decisions, allows you to go to other places, allows you to stay off grid longer than you plan, and because sometimes you get to places and you just want to keep looking, but you haven't got food, then you got to drive back into town and maybe say goodbye to a place that you really want to see more of. So yeah, for me,
I'd say the porta potty.
There you go. Bit of a no-brainer there, isn't it?
It's a girl thing versus a boy thing, I
Yeah.
think. And the shower, we've got a plunge shower, hot water shower,
Yeah,
so
true.
that was super handy.
Yeah, can get pretty grubby on the road, and especially with young kids.
We've even stopped on the side of the road and had a shower one time, haven't you?
Yeah, a couple of times. Yeah, a couple of times. And the other thing was, having young kids, they get pretty grubby pretty quickly. So you got to be able to clean them on the run because things happen.
We saved
Yeah.
and saved and saved and worked hard and saved.
Yep, that's it. Yep.
Scrimped our pennies.
Yep.
So we budgeted for $1,000 a month. We probably went over that, but we splurged a fair amount on activities. If we hadn't have splurged on those activities, we would have done it easily. But we saved so that we could, if we found something we wanted to do, we just did it. And we found quite a few things we wanted to do.
So I guess the biggest expense would you definitely have been the camper.
Yeah.
For sure, if you had to wait up the camper and probably the Rhino rack and the Rhino
whole
gear with the awning and the batwing awning and all that sort of stuff. That would be it. And other than that, probably the dive in the Great Barrier Reef in regards to experiences was probably the biggest expense.
Oh, the rail.
Sky
Rail in Queensland was up there.
Yeah, but you got to do it.
Yeah.
What are we doing now? Well, what we know now is don't plan too far ahead because things will change and things change by the day. Weather definitely plays a factor. Sometimes the weather's great, sometimes the weather's terrible, and that really plays a big part in what you might do. And sometimes you just keep driving because the weather's just pretty average, and sometimes you see somewhere you didn't expect and you just want to stay there forever, really, don't you? You just want to hang around, and we did that a few times. We just kept extending our stay. We know we go out one day, experience, and we come back and say, okay, let's see if we can stay another night. We did that. We actually did it a few times at a couple of places. Or
the opposite. There were times where we expected to spend longer, and then we were like, we just weren't really feeling it, so moved on sooner. Then the times we live in with COVID as well.
There's too many variables. But don't plan. Hey, like you just don't know what's going to happen. What we're going to come across.
For me, it's just spending time with the family, I guess. No routine, no alarm clock. Although saying that, we pretty much saw every sunrise and sunset for 3 months, and that was amazing. So for me, that was seeing the stars.
Yeah, we didn't even. So you get in a routine. You don't even set the alarm to get up for sunrise. No. You just want to do it. So
because you go to bed earlier because it's dark and caravan parks are quiet or
and I guess for me it's just the experience of not knowing what each day was going to be like. Like even if you're going somewhere, you didn't know how cool it was going to be or what was going to happen, and sometimes you just completely blown away by something. So every day was a different experience, and we just want to keep going.
One Powerball.
Yeah.
Probably all the activities we did. We did quite a few. We did like a cruise at the Wet Sundays.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where it started.
Yeah.
Then my dive at Cairns and the Sky Rail, and then in Kakadu we did like a cruise and then the jumping croc cruise and the fishing cruise.
Fishing and then in Kakadu as well. So
Lake Argyle, there was Lake Argyle. There was a cruise as well.
Yeah.
So all those things really added up.
So like we had a rule that we wouldn't try not to let money sort of get in the way of us doing something.
Although you did stop me doing I wanted to do a plane over Lake Argyle instead of the cruise, but Dion won that battle.
Yeah.
Next time.
But no, honestly, the biggest expenses were just the activities and the
alcohol,
the experiences. But you got to do it. You're only out there, you only live once, so have a crack at it.
Yeah.
Cables, chargers, headphones.
You brought a lot of
Yeah, like I
electronics.
grabbed a bag of just
Massively
bits and pieces
overprepared.
and cables and chargers and adapters just in case of situations, and I didn't touch the bag for the whole trip. I even had headphones thinking, okay, so I have some headphones but listen to music at night.
You had a couple of pairs of headphones, like
Yeah.
in ear, over ear.
Yeah. Didn't use any of that, so yeah.
You never know. We might have needed them.
Might have needed them, but we didn't, so
We were super lucky. The only thing that really affected us during it was we were in New South Wales, and it was right before Easter when Brisbane went into lockdown. We waited in New South Wales because we had a feeling they may go into lockdown.
Yeah.
And then when it was announced, we literally drove straight on through up to the Sunshine Coast and managed to avoid it. So yeah, we were very lucky.
yeah, so yeah, we were at Byron Bay in the morning and we were going to the Gold Coast that afternoon, and suddenly we couldn't go. Well, we could have gone there, but we couldn't go anywhere else. So yeah, we missed out on the theme parks and all that sort of stuff for the kids. So that was a bit of a bummer, but thankfully we were able to detour Brisbane and get to the Sunshine Coast before it all locked down. So.
I think it was a bit of a godsend anyway. I think the kids are a bit too young for the theme park, so we probably would have spent a lot of money on rides that they can't go on yet. So I guess we'll fly over there when they're a bit older and can actually enjoy it a bit more.
Another reason to go back.
Yeah.
So no,
Wasn't a big loss.
We've been pretty lucky.
Very
thankfully.
lucky.
Biggest tip: don't plan too far ahead.
Yeah.
So many reasons. Sometimes you just can't get into somewhere. Sometimes you can't get a booking. Sometimes the weather's average. You can't experience and do the things you want to do. And I guess, like we were saying before, sometimes you get to a place, you're not feeling it. You just want to, you just pack up and keep going to somewhere
Getting
else.
eaten alive by midgies.
But sometimes you go to a place and it blows your mind, and you just want to stay there. You want to, hang around. So
Completely unexpected, and you just want to explore it more.
yeah. So keep an open mind and be flexible, because things will change. Definitely, what you want to do might change.
Take lots of pegs.
There you go. Pegs.
It's a one thing, like normally I'm when you're traveling you don't need it kind of person, but pegs, because you're free camping so much, and when you get to a caravan park you're doing like 3 loads of washing. If you don't have your pegs,
Or with a lot of places through Queensland, like we're swimming a lot, so every day there was clothes hanging up, and we're just hanging up stuff everywhere. So
we had rope hanging everywhere under the annex at one point.
Tying on the tree. We had rope to trees and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
So.
that was the one thing I just needed to keep going to the shops and getting more of was pegs. And now I've got a million of them at home because I didn't take any from home. So that's my little hot tip.
Cool.
That's it.
That's it. All right. Thank you.